Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Semangat pagi. Halo teman baik. Berjumpa lagi dengan kami
Sobat Bang.
Semoga teman baik selalu dalam keadaan sehat,
Damai
dan bahagia.
tentunya.
Ya, teman baik, bersama kita sudah ada Pak Stefan.
Steven Van Gaal.
Yes,
Almost. Ya.
Jadi teman baik, kita akan ngobrol santai saja kali ini, dan nanti kita begitu dia statement mungkin kita akan terjemahkan.
Nanti
Gitu.
terjemahnya ada di sini. Di sini.
Klik sisi ya, subtitle.
Ya.
Nah, jadi teman baik, Pak Stefan itu merupakan peternak yang berasal dari Belanda. So you are farmers, right, Stefan?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are farmers. They farm. Yeah.
Okay. And you already here around how long you have been here?
Now 2 months.
Pak Stefan itu di sini sudah 2 bulan dan kerjaannya keliling-keliling kandang sebenarnya.
And how total population you have in your farms?
We have 50,000 laying hens that are housed in 3 houses.
Oh, dia punya populasi 50.000 di 3 kandang. Keren.
Ya, 50.000. Sepertinya kita perlu nanya
Pekerjaannya.
berapa pekerjanya kalau 50.000.
Yeah.
How much you have man worker for to handling that's 50,000 birds?
I think if you talk about the general work, average work, you talk about 1 man.
Really?
One man?
For a complete. Terus jadi masalah teman baik ya. Who is a worker?
Yeah, or me? No, not me, not my dad.
Dia 50.000 dia handle, kalau nggak bapaknya ya dia. Karena dia lagi di sini sekarang bapaknya yang handle.
Okay.
Really?
That's interesting, Stefan, because what's your first impression? Saya nanya sama dia, kesan pertamanya apa? During you visit the farm, and what's the comparison between Indonesia and Netherlands for the farm?
Yes. The first impression was, I think, the way of how to run a business in Indonesia and the Netherlands. If you compare in the Netherlands, you have a farmer, and the farmer is a farmer, and he is responsible for all the work on the farm itself. And if you compare that with the Indonesian farmer is more like a manager. He not only is the manager of the farm, but also for the transport and selling the eggs.
So it means like a different focus like that.
Yes, you see the spread of focus of farmers in
spread
Indonesia is quite big, and the spread of focus in the Netherlands is quite simple on the
Jadi memang begitu, bro.
Jadi
Kalau di Belanda yang namanya satu orang ini dia ya hanya ngurusin manajemen
ya
kandang aja gitu. Tapi kalau di sini kan memang owner ini juga jadi manajer transport,
yang jual telur juga.
yang jual telur kan gitu.
Ya, jadi di sana sangat bisa satu orang pegang 50.000.
Ya, and what do you think about the challenge here in Indonesia?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of challenges. They are also different in the Netherlands. I think we can't call them all at once, but only already climate is like already a big challenge here in Indonesia because we have like the subtropical climate here already. We don't face that in the
I
Netherlands.
think here tropical,
Yeah.
not subtropical.
Yeah, tropical. Yeah, tropical. Yeah,
Ya.
Ya, saya nanya sama dia, sebenarnya tantangan kita menurutmu apa kalau di Indonesia begitu? Dan dia emang jawab
Iklim.
banyak tantangannya, tapi memang yang besar sekali memang soal iklim atau microclimate ya, ventilasi sistem.
Ya.
That's right, ventilasi sistem untuk tropis.
But that's only one.
Itu baru satu. Just one.
Yes.
Ya,
No,
many differences between that. And then, what kind of your house?
Yes.
What kind of type of your house?
Yes, we holding our birds in every system. It's a common system now used in the Netherlands.
Okay.
That provides animal welfare as efficiency. And we work like a full automatic farm. So why we choose that? Because we don't need workers and a robot always is on time and never make mistakes.
Everything.
So that's the reason why we invested in every with a fully automatic system.
Oh, itulah kenapa meskipun satu orang karena disupport dengan otomatisasi.
Ya. Jadi
sistem otomatisasi.
Jadi yang saya tanya dia sistem apa sih yang dia pakai di kandang? Ternyata dia pakai aviary system. Jadi aviary system itu salah satu sistem pemeliharaan di layer yang lagi hype nih di sana.
Ya sebenarnya bukan hype sih, udah dari dulu.
Cuma lebih terkenal sekarang gitu
ya. Karena animal welfare isunya.
Pri kehewanan.
Ya.
Pri kehewanan. Jadi dengan adanya pri kehewanan tersebut atau animal welfare, dia mencoba untuk seefisien mungkin, lebih sedikit bekerja, tapi populasinya banyak, menghasilkan performa atau telur yang banyak juga.
Ya, sebelum kita ke soal aviary, saya mau nanya soal IoT, Internet of Things. Ya. What about the IoT system in Netherlands, Stefan?
Still differs as well. You have IoT systems who are already quite new and still old ones, but most IoT systems are also dependent with a remote. So you can basically do everywhere, whenever you want. You can change your system and measuring the results. So we do if we have like automatic system, we also do our automatic measurements. So like the weight of the eggs, weight of the ants.
Lot of sensors.
A lot of sensors, a lot of data, but only with data you can improve your results. If you don't measure, you can never know what's going on and you can never improve results.
That's point. Jadi pertanyaannya tadi adalah tentang Internet of Thinking. Dia pakai yang lama, tapi di sana banyak sekali ternyata macam.
Dan dia di sana pun masih berkembang. Artinya mungkin ya yang dipakai sama dia
yang
mungkin
yang
masih
old style,
yang old style, tapi itu pun sudah bisa menghandle semuanya.
Yang terpenting tadi adalah tentang dia bisa mengambil data dan pengukuran otomatis.
Everywhere you can take the data.
Yes.
Whenever like that.
Yeah.
So you like put on your application on your phone, like that.
Yeah.
Wow, jadi teman-teman bisa lihat di video kita tentang Orion.
Ya.
Sama hampir mirip, cuma mungkin dia pakai yang beda merek ya. Tapi prinsipnya sama. Yang terpenting adalah IoT itu bisa memberikan data pengukuran aktual dan juga nanti untuk evaluasi ke depan ya, atau tindakan preventif apa yang mau dilakukan.
Yeah, I think there's a big challenge here.
Yeah.
And maybe if you meet the farmer from Indonesia, what do you want to say?
I think when farmer of Indonesia is the most important thing that you know what you want to improve and where you want to be in the coming 10 years. How you see your
Okay.
So if you have that clear, then it starts with improving. Improving starts with knowledge.
Knowledge. Tapi tadi saya nanya ke Mas Stefan ini, kalau kamu ketemu sama peternak Indonesia, apa yang mau kamu katakan sama teman-teman ini? Nah, dia bilang kita harus memulai dengan suatu akhir yang jelas. Artinya apa? Artinya 10 tahun mau seperti apa, 5 tahun mau seperti apa, kita tuh harus jelas mau ngapain. Setelah itu kita buktikan. Nah, dalam membuktikan itu
Harus
yang paling penting adalah pengetahuan, knowledge, right?
Yes.
So the knowledge or education is important.
Yes, and after that, investment. And investment is like a lot of firms think, oh, investments, big money, big, but you cannot do already investments on a small scale, like do small improvements. And what I learned in Indonesia is everything is going step by step, and it's the same as in the Netherlands. Only in Indonesia, sometimes small steps. But if you take small steps, you are gaining your goal way much faster than still waiting till investment. So that's why a small step already can make big difference.
Ya, jadi memang setelah pengetahuan tadi, pesan dari Mas Stefan ini memang ya kesadaran dalam berinvestasi.
Ya, jangan cuma tentang investasi, tentang banyaknya uang ya.
Ya.
Tapi investasi mulai dari yang terkecil dulu.
Ya.
Perlahan-pelan tapi pasti. Sampai dibilang itu.
Tapi ya Mas Stefan tadi juga bilang, iya sih, kita bisa berinvestasi step by step, pelan-pelan. Cuma ya ini nunggunya kelamaan loh, kan salah satunya juga begitu. Jadi small step but make a big difference. Jadi kalau bisa sih dengan sedikit langkah hasilnya akan lebih besar dan lebih kontinu.
Can you give example? You can see the farmer in Indonesia, or farm in Indonesia, or especially in your layers. What kind of small step they can make a big difference?
If we only talk about, it's a good example like water. I think in layer also many companies would like to use open water system, but if you compare it with the advantages of closed water system, which we have a way much better biosecurity, I think a better water intake because less infections, because for bacteria harder to get inside the drinking line. But also that is a small improvement, but every small improvement brings also a little bit the difference in management. And that's always good to remember. You can do only investments and not adapt your management. You always need to adapt.
Jadi saya cuma tanya, ada contoh nggak beberapa step yang bisa membuat perubahan besar? Salah satunya katanya si Stefan ini adalah tentang manajemen air minum. Jadi banyak kandang kan, ya bukan banyak sih, mungkin mayoritas kandang di yang bisa Mas Stefan ini pakai sistem terbuka. Jadi air atau tanggulnya itu dibiarkan kena cahaya matahari langsung. Jadi get sunlight ya.
That's awesome.
Jadi cara dia bikin sebuah sistem air minum yang tertutup supaya untuk menghindari paparan sinar matahari yang mengakibatkan banyak sekali terjadi malfungsi ya. Kayak bakterial, biofilm dan sebagainya bisa muncul karena kontaminasi dari luar. Karena setelah sudah bisa pakai sistem yang tertutup, pasti akan ada perubahan di manajemennya juga.
And let's talk about aviary, but I think aviary we continue in the part 2. Sudah nggak sabar ya lihat aviary system.
Gimana sih aviary system?
Oke, lanjut ke part 2.